In this video, I'm going to be going over the best and worst ways to make money in Fallout 4. Some of the methods that I use rely on various mods, but most of them you can do in the vanilla game. I would rather gouge my eyes out with a spoon than play a vanilla Bethesda game in 2026, but hey, to each their own. And my goal is that by the end of this video, you should be able to be a millionaire in Fallout 4. There are 4 main mods that I had to use for some of the strategies in this video. The first one being Depravity. This mod honestly does a lot, and I'm going to be making a much longer video about it at some point. Without spoiling too much, this mod adds a lot of RPG mechanics that were not in the vanilla version of Fallout 4, adding a lot of choice and consequence to the story and really improving the overall experience. The main feature that we will be using is a hotel that the player receives after completing the whole questline. Manufacturing Extended and Manufacturing Extended Expanded. These 2 mods add a lot of features to the manufacturing systems from the Contraptions DLC that we will utilize for some of the strategies in this video. And lastly, MD Wolfe's Shipping Services, a pretty neat mod that adds a mailbox where the player can purchase shipments of crafting materials for their settlements. Rather than traveling all over the wasteland and hoping that the game was kind enough to put the right shipment that you need into Myrna's inventory when you go visit her in Diamond City, this mod has every single shipment from the base game all in one stop, and it uses the exact same prices from the base game. Pretty lore friendly in my opinion. Now let's go over all the perks that I used for the playthrough that I tested these methods with. The first one being Local Leader. First level of this allows you to actually craft different workshops, important if you want to use MD Wolfe shipping service. And then the second level allows you to establish supply lines between your settlements. Very useful, and you're definitely going to want that for some of the methods. Fortune Finder is the next one. This one is honestly a method on its own. What this perk does is that it adds a chance that from now on you can find bottle caps in containers around the Commonwealth, each level increasing that chance. With the final level, level 4, having a random chance that whenever you kill an enemy, they will explode into a pile of bottle caps, giving you anywhere from like 20 to 30, 35 every time. The next perk that I used is Science. Once you get this to level 4, you'll be able to build the most efficient generators that the base game offers, providing 100 power from just 1. That's going to be very beneficial for some of the methods that we use. And the last one being Cap Collector. First couple levels of this are going to have better buying and selling prices at vendors. And then the last one is going to give you an ability to invest into different vendors in their shops. Not really the feature that we use, but the buying and selling prices are definitely going to be helpful. Now I know what you're thinking here. Oh, I already know how to make money in Fallout 4. You build a bunch of water plants, you set up vendors in all of your settlements, you grind for legendary loot, and then you sell it all back to the... Water plants are definitely not the best method that you can use to make money in Fallout 4, and definitely not if you're using mods. And then don't even get me started on vendors, our first method that we're going to go over and then throw in the trash heap immediately. Let's just do some simple math real quick to start off. Regardless of the amount of vendors, settlers, happiness, or any other metric that I can find, 50 caps is your limit per day, per settlement using vendors. This is awful. In order to get 50 caps, you need, at minimum, a tier 4 vendor, which there's only 8 of those in the game, or 2 tier 3 shops per settlement that need to be selling at max capacity, whatever that means. In the base game of Fallout 4, there are 30 settlements. If we have every single settlement in the Commonwealth, and all of them make 50 caps a day, that totals to 1,500 caps per day. Now, if you have every DLC settlement included, Vault-Tec Workshop, Tomatron, Nuka World, and then 4 from Far Harbor, that's 37 settlements times 50 caps a day. That's still only 1,850 caps a day, with all the time that it takes to grind to get to the point where you have every single settlement. Not worth it. Not to mention, you have to travel to each one of those settlements and collect all those caps. They are not interlinked between your supply lines because they're not crafting materials. You can't fast travel, sleep, or wait to speed that time up, by the way. That's 24 played in-game hours, which equates to about 72 minutes in real time. If your goal is to make 1 million caps off of this method, earning 1,850 caps per day, and you have every single settlement maxed with 2 tier 3 shops or a tier 4 vendor, that will take you 541 in-game days. Multiplied by 72 gives us 38,952 minutes. Now divide that by 60, that's 649 real-world hours. Divided by 24 is 27 real-world days. Nobody is playing one single playthrough that long. There's probably plenty of you that don't even have that much playtime in all of Fallout 4 since the game came out. Oh, by the way, it costs you 1,500 caps for each of these tier 3 shops that you need in all your settlements. So if you get 2 per settlement, that's 3,000 caps, multiplied by 30, just the base game, that's 90,000 caps that you have to go in the hole just to make a profit. 90,000 divided by 1,850 caps per day is 49 in-game days, or 3,528 minutes, 58.8 hours, or almost 2.5 real-world days. And that's just to make your money back. This is time-consuming as hell. You have no control over your actual income. It is the worst method in the game by far. F every fucking day that ends in Y. I cannot believe that Bethesda designed it this simple with so little thought going into it. If you are an experienced Fallout 4 modder, please, for the love of God, fix this. I don't care if it costs me 10,000 caps for one tier 3 shop. If by the time that I build them up across 30 settlements, I'm making thousands of caps every single day, totally worth it to me. Settlement happiness and settler amount should come into play, whether you're far away from downtown Boston or if you're smack dab near Diamond City. There's so many parts of this feature that were overlooked and underdeveloped. F tier, moving on. Next method I want to talk about is legendary loot, specifically weapons and armor. I don't have much for this method, to be honest with you. I think the legendary loot grind is some of the most soul-sucking gameplay that you can have in a video game. I didn't even attempt at it, to be completely honest. Play the game normally. When you pick up legendary items, just go to the shops and sell them. Do not waste your time on this method. The only thing that's keeping it out of the F tier for me is that if you get good legendary buffs and they're stacked onto a good weapon or armor piece, especially if you have modded armor or weapons in your playthrough, you can make a lot of money off of certain items. But it's so random and so time consuming that it's not even worth doing with the other methods that I have in this video. Up next is going to be quests. Quests are great because of the fact that you're actually enjoying your gameplay and the time that you're putting in to make the money. Well, for the most part. I'm looking at you, Preston Garvey.
Up yours, Preston. I'm tired of your bullshit.
Trust me, the feeling's mutual. No, not like this.
If there's any quest that you should do to make money fast, I would recommend Diamond City Blues. I'm not going to go into too much depth, and you probably already know what this quest is about, but spoiler alert if you haven't played it. Now, at the very end of the quest, after you raid Nelson's chem deal with Henry Cook and Paul, you're going to find at minimum 800 caps on Nelson Latimer's body, as well as 6 crates, each filled with 10 jet, 10 buff out, 10 mentats, and 10 psycho. Altogether, after you sell all of these chems, you should be looking at about 9,200 caps. This quest has the highest payout that I'm aware of from anything in the vanilla game. Aside from this quest, I can't think of any others that are worth the time that you're going to be putting in because the payout is going to be so low. But hey, at least you're having fun while you're earning your minimum wage, so C tier it is. Fortune Finder is a funny one because once you get this to level 4, it's hard to not find caps in containers during your playthrough. You could put this perk onto your character and not do anything else besides be a loot goblin for the rest of the game and you'll do just fine. B tier. Next up is going to be manufacturing, and this is a tricky one. In vanilla, the hardest part about manufacturing is getting all of the materials that you need in order to make items that are worth selling. The ones that I see recommended the most are the auto loom, so that way you can press suits that you can sell for a decent amount of caps, and then Vault-Tec lunchboxes that you can turn into bottle cap mines, which will sell for a good amount. This method overall isn't bad, but it will definitely be costly over time getting all the materials you need to make the items, and if you're playing on vanilla, God help you, running around the Commonwealth trying to find all the materials you need to build the items you want. Utilizing MD Wolfe shipping services, on the other hand, moves this one up for me. Having control of the production speed of your product puts it leaps ahead of anything else in the vanilla game that doesn't let you do that. And if you put your nose to the grindstone on manufacturing, you can make a pretty big profit. E tier. Here we go with everyone's favorite. Make a purified water farm. It's a license to print money. Okay, yeah, in the vanilla game it is, but it's not as good as people make it out to be. It's one of the best methods that you can use in vanilla Fallout 4 to make caps, but it is very time consuming. It takes a lot of materials, especially up front, and you can't do anything as a player to speed this up. You just have to wait and play the game. I'm gonna run some math for you so you can see what I'm talking about. One industrial water purifier makes 40 water per day. One industrial water purifier requires 2 ceramic, 4 cloth, 4 copper, 4 oil, and rubber, 6 screws, 20 steel, and it requires 5 power to run. Now, if you make a large water purifier farm at your settlement, let's say 10 industrial water purifiers, that's gonna make 400 water every 24 hours in game. One purified water is valued at about 20 caps, but only sells for around 14 caps at best. And that's with a high charisma build and if you have cap collector maxed out. 1 million divided by 14 gives us 71,429 purified waters that we need to sell. 71,429 divided by 40 a day would take us 1,785 days, or 128,520 real world minutes, 2,142 real world hours, or 90 fucking days in game. 3 months! 3 months of in-game real time that you can't fast travel or sleep through. That's one playthrough. I have 1,000 hours in Fallout 4. Altogether since the game came out in 2015. That's only 41 and a half real world days. The amount of time required to generate enough purified water to become a millionaire, I don't even have that time played in Fallout 4. Now, I found some Reddit articles online saying that they were able to build their farms up and make them work between supply lines, and the biggest claim that I've found so far is that someone said that they were able to make 1,450 purified waters per day. I personally think they're full of shit, but let's pretend that they're not. 71,429 divided by 1,450 would still take us, rounded up, 50 in-game days, or 3,600 minutes, 60 hours, or just over 2.5 real-time days. I didn't even take the time to crunch the numbers on crafting materials, waiting 48 hours for the vendors to reset, traveling all around the Commonwealth like a goddamn used Bible salesman to hawk off your shitty purified water. Oh, and don't forget that purified water has weight, 0.5 pounds per can to be exact. So the amount of time that it would take you to travel around and sell all of this just because of how much it bogs down your inventory is ridiculous. Oh, and don't forget that there's a cap. That's right, there's a cap to how much purified water that you can generate regardless of the amount of generators that you have. And to be honest, I don't even completely understand it. So I'm just gonna throw it up here on screen and basically say that just because that you have enough water purifiers to generate 400 purified waters per day does not mean that that's how many are going to actually be added to your inventory. So that extends our time. I don't even know how much, and it's going to depend on your settlements, but I do have to give this method credit where it's due. It is a good method for the vanilla game, and it is passive, meaning that you can just set all this up, forget about it, and then come back and collect your purified waters when you want, sell them, and move on. Once you sell your arm, leg, a kidney, and your soul for all the crafting materials that you need in order to make these things, then you just need to let time run its course and you will make money. And for that reason, I will put the purified water scam in the B tier. So I've actually never used this method. I only found out recently about it doing some research for this video, and it's actually a fairly good way of making caps. I'm talking about Caltrops, specifically the poisoned Caltrops. One poisoned Caltrop has a value of 40 caps, meaning with high charisma and all the perks, it'll sell for about 32 caps. Our goal is 1 million divided by 32, meaning it'll take us about 31,250 poisoned Caltrops to make our goal. You can make these at a chem station, and I'm honestly not sure if any of the manufacturing mods allow you to make them or not, or if it's even just in the main game. But let's say that they are, and the manufacturing machines make these one at a time. In order to make one poison caltrop, you need 5 steel. 31,250 multiplied by 5 is 156,250 steel. Meaning that to make all of the poison caltrops that we need, it'll take us about 156,250 steel. One shipment of steel gives us 50 units for 150 caps. Meaning it'll take us about 3,125 shipments, costing 468,750 caps. Meaning that we have to sell 14,649 poison caltrops just to make our money back. Altogether, we'll need about 45,899 to become a millionaire. Oh, and I forgot to mention, poison caltrops are heavy, 0.5 pounds per caltrop, so the same as purified water. Lugging them around the wasteland would be difficult even if you have 10 strength and strong back maxed out. especially if you're on survival. But I can't lie, you can make a lot of money off of this, and steel is not too hard to come by in the wasteland, so you can get pretty far before you actually need to pay yourself back. This is the closest method that I found to our last one, and I'm going to put it in the A tier. Without further ado, this is the best strategy for making money in a modded playthrough of Fallout 4 that I have found to date. Chem factories. That's right. Specifically, jet factories. With these jet factories, you can become a millionaire in Fallout 4 in 4 real-world hours. Realistically, it'll take about 6 to 8. Let me explain. While not available in the vanilla game, the Manufacturing Extended Expanded mod adds chem processors to the manufacturing section of the workshop. In order to build a chem processor, you need 2 circuitry, 3 gears, 4 rubber, and 10 steel. Out of the 5 base chems in Fallout 4, Buffout, Jet, Med-X, Psycho, and Mentats, Jet is by far the best chem to manufacture. All of these except Buffout are valued at about 50 caps per unit. But what makes Jet stick out amongst the others is how few crafting components you actually need. Now normally, you need 2 fertilizer and 1 plastic to make 1 jet from the chem station. But for whatever reason, and I have no idea why, 2 fertilizer and 1 plastic gives you 3 jet. 1 jet is valued at 50 caps, but it sells for about 36 with high charisma and all the perks I went over before, meaning that it would take us about 27,778 jet to make 1,000,000 caps. 1 cycle in the chem processor makes 75 jet. This cycle normally takes about 4 to 5 minutes in game, so to be conservative, we'll just use 5 minutes for this analysis. Meaning it'll take us about 371 cycles for us to make the 27,778 jet that we need. Multiply that by 5, that gives us about 1,855 real-world minutes, or 31 hours, or 1 day and 7 hours. But OE, you said it would only take 4 hours. That's a really long time. I normally finish my playthroughs in about 12 to... That's 1 chem processor. 1. What if I told you you can build as many of these things as you want? What if I told you I built an entire factory with 10 of these chem processors? Meaning every 5 minutes, I didn't make 75 jet. I made 750. Meaning that we can get it done in 38 cycles, or about 190 minutes, or 3 hours and 10 minutes. In order to process this much jet, you're going to need a lot of fertilizer and plastic. If we're making 3 jet every cycle and we need 27,778 to make our money, that's going to be about 9,259 orders of jet, which means we're going to need 9,259 plastic and about 18,518 fertilizer. 1 shipment of plastic costs 75 caps and it gives you 25 plastic. 1 shipment of fertilizer costs 300 caps and gives us 25 fertilizer, meaning that we're going to need 371 shipments of plastic and 741 shipments fertilizer. Multiply those shipments by the cost per, and we're going to be looking at about 250,125 caps in manufacturing cost, or about 6,948 jet that we'll need to pay ourselves back, bringing our total to 34,726 jet, which we can make in 47 cycles, or about 235 minutes, or just under 4 real-world hours. This, without a shadow of the doubt, is the best money-making method in the game, and unless that my numbers are off, or there's another product that I'm just not aware of, this is where you should be dedicating your time if you're trying to make money. Also, jet only weighs 0.1 pound per unit, so that means that you can transport a full stack of 750 all around the Commonwealth to all the vendors you need to sell, and not have any problems bringing weapons, food, or anything else that you need to keep your survival playthrough alive. Now obviously, it's going to take you time moving to all these vendors and selling them. You're going to have to sleep or wait to reset their inventory every 48 hours. And it does take a lot of time refilling these processors with crafting materials. That's why I say conservatively, you can make about 1,000,000 caps in 6 to 8 real-world hours, roughly, with this method. Now the real best method here is to combine everything that we've gone over in this video, go to Spectacle Island, build big-ass factories and water purifiers all around the island, and just keep going through the loop of crafting, traveling to sell them, coming back, sleeping, and repeat that over and over again. But I don't know, your game might crash before you get all that done. I want to talk about the Depravity mod for a second and how it helped me get to 1,000,000 caps pretty fast. Specifically, at the end of the quest line, you own the Hotel Rexford and Casino. All the vendors at this hotel have about 2,000 to 3,000 caps in their inventory. This resets every 48 hours, and yes, you can sleep or wait to reset them. Just fast travel away first, sleep 48 hours, and then come back. Also, Kellogg, for whatever reason, spoiler alert, he can be your companion, has over 5,000 caps in his inventory, so this will make it even faster if you just bring him along with you. Last thing I'll mention before I wrap this video up is that if you don't want to mess around with mods or any of the manufacturing stuff, you could just make jet, water, and caltrops your new currency. Treat the Commonwealth like a barter economy. Oh, you have 500 5.56 rounds and a couple guns that I want? Well, I have 200 jet and 100 water. Take it. You can do that with really any item in the game, but obviously the ones we've gone over so far are going to be the easiest. That's what I normally do when I play the vanilla version of Fallout 4, but I honestly haven't touched that since like 2019. That's really about it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday that just passed by, or if you don't celebrate any holidays, at least got some time off from work and spent it with family. Working on a couple other videos right now, including a review/showcase for Depravity and some of the other mods that I mentioned in this video. It's all part of a much bigger project that I'm working on, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Leave a like if you liked the video, dislike it if you disliked it, and please comment telling me why. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the other side. Later.